As most of you know by now, I've lived in the States for 3 years, which is crazy. It's gone by so fast. And with that comes, of course, some lessons learned. And I thought, why not share that? That there are plenty of others out there who are dreaming about studying in the States, moving to the States, or just working here in the States. So I thought I would go ahead and give you my top 3 biggest lessons learned from my 3 years living, working, and studying in the United States of America. Let's dive right in. My number 1 lesson is that the American corporate culture is a fact. Coming from Europe, I didn't know what I was getting myself into at all. It's fast-paced, it's much more cutthroat. The way they communicate is not even remotely close to how people would interact or communicate in Sweden. Like, the memes that you may or may not have seen based on, I don't know, just research or just being on Instagram, it's legit. Like, they will use cuss words, they will be cutthroat. And like, that's not the case in Sweden. In Sweden, it's very like, kumbaya, like everyone works together, like teamwork. It's not the same. I think a lot of organizations are trying to get there and are very well on their way there, but the tempo, the communication styles, and just what is expected of you is very different from a European country, at least. I know that it's very different in other cultures where they're even worse than the States, apparently. If you're not sure of what you're getting into, just expect to work overtime, expect to work long hours, expect that it is expected of you to just say yes and do things that you may not want to do or signed up for originally. Just expect that. And another thing, of course, is that you don't get the same vacation time. That's just a fact. Just so don't count on it. You will get maybe 2 weeks of vacation and that's it. And it's not common at all as you would have done in Sweden, where you go on 4 weeks vacation on the summer. You don't take it all at once. Like, you would take tops a week at once, and you would try to combine it with maybe a remote Friday or another day off. So it's fast-paced, you don't have as much vacation. So the saying that Americans live to work and Europeans work to live, that's true, in my opinion. They truly do live to work here. So just expect that, or you can expect that, and don't be shocked that you will feel stressed and panicked from time to time. But it's also very rewarding, so I'll give them that. One of the best diners in New York. That's a tip, for real. We got a visitor. Hi, Charlie.
Yes, I know you want to be part of this. I know. So happy to have you.
Okay, lesson number 2. Another thing that I've learned is that people are really kind and welcoming in terms of inviting you over, wanting to help, offering their help. I would say it's very different where I come from. Again, I come from Sweden, and it's definitely, I would say, not as common to be so openly invited into other people's homes for holidays, etc. I mean, they're big on Thanksgiving, they're big on their, 4th of July. So just all of these holidays. I am petting dogs underneath here, that's why. Definitely, you know, once you actually get to know people, they will be very open in inviting you over, being delighted to have you just, you know, spend some time with them, and also not being restricted like of the fact that it's a wedding, it's a holiday tradition of theirs. They love having, you know, more people over, at least the people that I've interacted with most, I would say. That hospitality also shows in like one-on-ones with people too. Like they're very like, oh my gosh, do you want to do this with me? Like I would love to do this with you. Like they're very inviting, which is super, super nice, because especially if you're, you know, moving abroad, you're moving to a new country, if you're open and if you want to meet people, and especially Americans, they will be inviting you over and they would be happy to have you. And I had heard in advance before moving here that some like experienced Americans is fake, or I would say that it's the complete opposite, at least on the East Coast. It might be different in the South or the West, but on the East Coast, I mean, people are really inviting, and at least I think they are, but maybe it's because I'm from Sweden and I've heard that Swedes are quite similar to New Yorkers. But anyways, you know, I can confidently say that we've at least met 2 or 3 close couples and friends that I know that I could call for help. You know, I could just reach out to and invite them, and they would love to just have something and do something together. So welcoming culture is something that, you know, I had to really get accustomed to. I wasn't used to it at all, and it's definitely been a positive surprise. So the warm and welcoming environment is also a big lesson, and something that I've experienced here that I just love about this culture. That has really made my experience in the States so complete and full, and made me experience places and go places and experience things that I really wouldn't have otherwise. Very grateful for that open culture. And to add to that, even my manager, like at work, is very inviting. She has numerous times invited me to her home, which, I mean, at least I haven't experienced that in Sweden. It's a great opportunity to just experience the culture and meet new people, and they love people, like international people. So go ahead and do it and meet with them, because you'll only get the opportunity in a lifetime, especially if you're international. Last but not least, lesson number 3. This third lesson is probably the biggest lesson, I would say, at least for me. It is the whole self-reliance portion. Americans grew up very individualistic. They don't have systems around them that is this like team oriented, a culture of which the government takes care of you, gives you that big of a support net as to maybe some other countries in, for example, Europe, etc. So self-reliance is such a big thing here, and that comes from everything too. As I said, you need to be able to vouch for yourself, but also making sure you got all the papers in place, making sure that you go to that office to set up X, Y, and Z. Like no one will take care of you whatsoever. Like you won't have anyone reaching out, following up with you saying, hey, you need to remember to do this. They just won't do that. It's up on you to keep track of, ooh, do I have my car insurance? Or ooh, do I need to renew this? Or wait, what does my benefit cover, etc. So it's a lot of self-reliance. I think it's, you know, a great skill to learn, to also be able to create your own future in terms of finances, etc. They will make sure that they set them up for success. Otherwise, the system won't really help them. And that is a massive thing too. Like this system is built heavily on capitalism, right? And I'm not gonna share my political views on anything, but nonetheless, like wherever you go, they will try to sell you something, which can be quite frustrating when you come from a country where, you know, it's very different. Like you would know, like if you go to a doctor, they won't try to sell me anything, or they won't try to sell me a product, so they will earn more money. But they will here. Going to the vet, going to the hospital, etc. They will show you pricing before you agree to anything. That ties back to like the whole self-reliance piece. Like you really gotta understand what it's all about and do your own research of like, wait, what is this really about? Will I need it? Again, You gotta take care of yourself because no one else will do it for you here. If you're very used to having a big and large support net, your country as a whole, it is very different here. And it can be scary, it can be confusing, and not just knowing that you can get like a clear answer and you know that you can trust that 100%. But just know that Americans are very big on community, they're very helpful, so don't be scared and afraid to reach out to friends. Now it's playtime, or the community that you've established, because they would be happy to help you. I'm pretty certain about that. So that is my last and probably biggest and most shocking lesson that I learned here. Okay guys, but those were my 3 biggest takeaways from the 3 years that I've lived here in the United States. If you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can always comment and I will do my very best to get back to you as soon as possible. But I truly hope that this can be helpful for some. Of course, there has been a ton of other lessons that I've learned too. Too many to mention probably. I mean, moving abroad, living here in the States is such a great experience. It's one of the best experiences that I've ever had. I will be forever grateful with my decision of moving here. I don't regret it a single day or second of my life. It's been such a blessing and I'm so happy about it. I hope that this was helpful and that you enjoyed this video, and I hope I'll see you in my next one. But until then, take care, and I'll get back to my coffee and maybe go for a little walk. It is afternoon, so I might just do that. But I hope this was helpful, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.